Hey everybody, are you ready for our first garden tour of the year? Me too! Let's go! So it's finally getting sunny and warm again. It's finally getting to be back to normal May temperatures. Yay. Still have some asparagus coming up. Right here. There are a couple. There was a purple one. There's a couple purple ones over there. Most of the main asparagus crop is over, but the asparagus will keep sprouting throughout the summer, just a little bit here and there. Yes, I know I've got some weeding to catch up on, but this is what happens when it's berry picking time. It takes a lot of time to pick the berries, so I blow off weeding and I'll get that done later. Blackberries are flowering and forming, and I'll do a separate video on the orchard, stuff in the orchard, but they're flowering and starting to grow little berries. They're nice and thinned out. I'm hoping that'll keep them from getting that fungus that they usually get every year. I still haven't figured out why this died. Because at the bottom, see, it's got new green growth. I don't know what happened. But anyway, okay, here's the two other asparagus. I decided I've kept this cardboard, this area covered with cardboard to prevent a lot of weed growth, thinking that one day I was going to add more asparagus, and I think I'm finally deciding I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I think I still have asparagus seed. I may have gotten rid of the asparagus seed. I don't know. Well, because you can start asparagus from seed. These two were both started from seed. But we shall see. I may have to just order more of the roots or whatever. This is just a mess of... I need to figure out what to do with these smart pots. They're just piled up, growing weeds. This is the time of year. Here, anyway. It's where it's warm enough for my walking onions, or Egyptian onions, whatever they're called, to go to seed. And when they go to seed, they get tough. You can't really eat them. But oh well, they survived being eaten down by cucumber beetles last fall, and they survived our cold winter. They even survived the wind that knocked them over. Okie dokie. I'm going to check out the grapes. We're all ready. That's the next thing Jerry and I need to do, is get to the bird netting. Jerry put the structure up here with rebar and PVC that we had left over from projects. So we're going to drape bird netting over here, so I will not have cardinals eating the grapes this year. So we're going to have to see if they get that right. I still haven't sprayed. I think I'll probably spray this week, since the rain it's not supposed to... Oh yeah, look. Yeah, they're already getting sick. It might be too late. Yep, it's already got the, whatever it's called. It starts with a B, the thing that grapes get. I'll go ahead and spray once, maybe twice, and see if it goes away. I don't know, though. I just didn't want to do it this year because it was either too windy or it was going to rain, and I didn't know if there was a point in spraying if it was going to rain the next day. Sage is, as always, going nuts. This will be the next thing after the gummies, the blueberries. They're already, there's a little bit of shade of blue on some of them, so yes. Can have the blueberries. I forgot about that cedar mulch. I need to do something with that. Okay. Hey, you want to see how big the kiwis have gotten since I did that? They are getting bigger. Let's see if we can find. There we go. Today they've grown since that video I made. Was it last week or something? About kiwis. That'll be interesting to see what they do. Broccoli going to seed. I am going to harvest the leaves tonight. I'll harvest the leaves. Now, I think I'm going to cut down some of these stalks and see if they'll grow more leaves back for me. The leaves are more nutritious than the florets, by the way. But yeah, this is how broccoli and all that, cabbage, kale, that's how they produce seeds, is they produce little pods that look like beans. And then when they dry up, then the seeds are ready to harvest. Peas, I gotta harvest peas today. So I've got 3 peas here, and then a bunch of peas over there. I'll show you in a minute. Alright, so what I decided to do with these beds this year, I was intending to grow broccoli in the middle and between the tomatoes, but I just didn't get to starting new broccoli. I thought these plants were going to be it, but then they started to bolt and go to seed. So I said, forget it this year. So 2 tomatoes in each bed. Since tomatoes really suck up water, I decided, you know what, we're just going to take it easy, not have a bunch of tomatoes together, and hopefully I won't have to water as much, worry about it. All right, that's a dill. But my dill seeds were all bad, so I had to buy dill from the hardware store. I am going to mulch around here better. I have treated this area for, I had huge ants decided to move into this bed. Nice, fluffy, soft soil. It's what they love, right? I'm going to do a separate video just on this cucumber. I don't remember the variety right now, but I have a bunch of little fruits growing. So obviously I've gotten... well, that's not flea. I think at first I had flea beetles munching on it. Now it looks like maybe I've had grasshoppers munching on it too. But it's producing fruit, so who cares? The garlic just accidentally ended up there. And that's all I decided for this year anyway. This bed is just going to be this cucumber, and this cucumber can take up the whole 10 feet. And I'm going to have another cucumber in another area. Cilantro gone to seed, so I'm hoping that a lot of these seeds will drop into this bed, and I will have some volunteer cilantro this fall. Regardless, I know I'm always going to end up with cilantro in this area forever for the rest of my life. Maybe some of it will fall on this bed too. That'll be cool. All right. This is also a tomato on each end. And don't ask me which variety of tomato. I know there are 2 cherries, 2 yellow pears, and 2 of a hybrid slicer one that's disease resistant. That's I decided I wasn't going to label them because as soon as they start growing, I'll be able to tell which variety they are. You know, so I don't, you know, as long as it's a tomato, you know, who cares? And this one has really grown since I put it in. I noticed that one especially. I've got kale in the middle, but I don't know how well they're going to do. They look a little pathetic because I stopped watering them at one point before they had mulch. So, yeah. I need to find it. Well, I'll talk about that later. I think I'm going to start growing kale under the peach trees because they need some shade. I'll do a separate video on this at some point, but this is what we're going to do for permanent tomato cages. So there's another tomato there. See, this is where I had my greens garden that I planted in September, and nothing hardly ever grew. So forget it, you know. So that's why you see remnants of kale and lettuce and stuff. So yeah, this bed too is mainly just these 2 tomatoes. Eventually, like I said, I'll have broccoli or kale or something in between. But this year I'm just, you know, taking it easy, slowing down. Eventually there will be a cucumber here. Yeah, I need to stake the peppers pretty soon. That's why this tomato cage is here. Like I've said this before, I'll say it again. Do not use these wire tomato cages to stake tomatoes unless it's like a dwarf tomato or something. They're really not big or strong enough. So, but they're great for peppers. They're perfect for peppers. But yeah, there's going to be a bait alpha cucumber, I think, growing up there. I need to cover this up though with hardware cloth so the cucumbers won't grow through it and get stuck. This is a volunteer lamb's quarter, and there's my shadow. Hi, everybody. So in here I've got 7 peppers. And a bunch of basil. These are the basil leaves getting eaten by somebody. Well, it got broken off. Some of it was broken. The leaves were broken when I bought them. But so these 2 here, this one and this one, these are the 2 seeds I had left. It was my orange peppers, my heirloom called Etiuda. And I forgot to save seeds last year, so I only had 2 left. So the rest of them are Red Bell California Wonder that I bought at the hardware store. They were at start. So now I'm going to save seeds this year, and next year all my peppers will be from seeds. But more basil. Just bought several basil. And we also, oops, I've got buds I'm going to have to pick off. You don't want to let the peppers start budding when they're this small, because they're not really big and strong enough. But yeah, pole beans, by the poles. So right now I've got 7 pole beans, and I have 1 more pole bean that's taken forever to germinate, but I dug in the pot yesterday and it looks like it is going to germinate. So I'll have the pole beans start growing up the poles pretty soon. This is mosh or corn lettuce gone to seed. I thought, well, maybe it'll seed and I'll have some more grow. I don't know. Anyway, look at this basil is already going to seed. I need to start using it. But yeah, so the plants you see against the posts are pole beans, and then the ones straight down the middle here are peppers. And then there's the pepper from seed and the peppers from seed and another pepper from the store, and then several basil. Yeah, that's what we got there. Over here, forgot to tell you, I am going to let some of this red Malabar spinach grow up here. I don't know if my summer squash, I have a variety of summer squash that vines. I don't know if the seeds are going to germinate or not, so I'll at least have some red Malabar spinach here. And if the summer squash seeds germinate, well then they'll just have to share with these red Malabar spinach. Alright, not too much more. There were a bunch of herb and flower seeds that they were mostly duds, so I just kind of mixed them together and threw in these 2 big bag beds, and I'm going to see if anything germinates. Something has germinated. Look at that. How do I know that's not a weed? Because that doesn't look like any weed plant that I've planted. So I have no idea what that is. Like I said, it's just a mix of, here's something, that might be a weed, that might be something I planted. I don't know. There's like some alyssum, some moss rose, dill, milk thistle, just a variety of stuff. So we'll see if anything happens. This is hopefully going to be sweet potatoes. Yes, I did decide to try sweet potatoes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to water, whenever I water them, I'm going to water with liquid Castile soap, and that will kill any sweet potato weevils. Okay, and here is, so I have a lot of empty bed space this year because, like I said, I've had to back up and slow down and think about what I want to do and how to do it. So, but this has a lot of peas. I will be harvesting peas from this later today. But this is where my main pea, sugar snap pea area is, right here. Because this chicken wire is here, you know, being a trellis. Alright, one last thing to show you, and I'm going to wrap up this video. I had extra tomato seedlings, and if you've been watching my videos for a couple years, you know I can't stand to waste seedlings. So, there's an extra tomato, and there's one that has been happily eaten. I don't buy that baby grasshopper, I don't know. Somebody's been eating that. We'll see if it survives. But, so that's 1, 2, there used to be one over here somewhere. I think it died. I'd originally planted like 6 or 7, and a couple of them died. 2 or 3 of them died. So it's 1, 2, 3. This one's getting eaten. It's growing, but something's eating it. It's 3. Oh, maybe down to 4. I used to have 5, so one of the other ones died. But, you know, no big deal. Like I said, these are extra. I'm going to have tomatoes coming out the wazoo. Oh, this one's doing really well. Look at that. Anyway, I'm going to have tomatoes coming out the wazoo if these 4, in addition to the other 6. You know, I have 10 tomatoes, so, and they're all very productive varieties. So, that's my garden as of May 12th, I think. Yeah, May 12th, 2019. Thanks a lot for watching. Share it and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll see you for the next video. In the meantime, take care. And happy gardening, happy spring, happy whatever.